Welcome back to the greenhouse. Sorry this video's a little bit late, but I've had one of these awful lurgy bugs knock me back for a few days. I've noticed when I was a younger man I could just shrug these things off in a couple of days. You get a bit older, it takes a bit longer. Anyway, I'm back now. I just wanted to let you quickly see this. Remember, this is one of those old window boxes that I picked up at a recycle centre, and a couple of weeks ago we planted these up. Well, it was actually, I think, when were we? End of Feb. We planted this up with a little bit of rocket seed in the front, just sprinkled in, and then some of those lovely radishes at the back. Well, the rocket, as you can see, I'm harvesting it now. Oh, it's hot. It's very spicy and tasty. And the radishes, well, let's have a look. There they are. You can see there's a one in there. There's not much, mind, but it's the tops that I'm wanting, really. These will go in the salads and in the stir fry. So I'll just pop that back in the hole again, pretend you never saw that. Let me move this out of the way because I want to show you something else that I think is more exciting. Although there's not much can be more exciting than a nice big tub full of rocket. Anyway, it's these peas. Now, I stuck these in a couple of weeks ago and then really just ignored them. So they've grown on their own and they're getting a bit stunted now. They've been neglected completely. They need a good watering. I'll give them it now. Okay, so what I wanted to have a look at today was the peas. Now, hand up, I've neglected them. They got tucked away in a corner. I haven't been in here and they weren't watered enough, so they're starting to wilt a little bit and go yellow. I'm hoping, though, I can recover them. Now, what I'm planning on doing is, normally you'd stick these in the ground, but, you know, I got hold of a few of these. Now, they're a bit manky, as you can see. They were literally a throwaway at somebody's dustbin, and I walked past and I tapped them up and said, "Can I have them?" And they were like, "Well, you can, but they're no good." So, I think they are good. Now, remember, this could just as easily be one of those barrel tubs that I use. It could be a wooden box. It could be a cardboard box if it's thick enough. It could be anything that will hold together the soil or the compost that you're going to plant your beans or your peas into. Now, with something like this, the peas don't need that depth to go down, but I'm going to give them quite a good depth anyway. And what I'm going to put on here, I should say, is I've got a wee bit of old compost round here somewhere, which will stick a bit of this in. That can go in on the bottom there. Now, again, you can use anything you've got. Old grow bags, old garden compost, soil, bit of sand mixed in. You don't want it too claggy. So you don't want a heavy clay soil in here. If your soil you're going to put in out the garden's got a bit of clay in, mix a bit of sand in to break it up as well. What you're after is to put about that much in. Got a bit more over here. This is old tomato compost from last year. I try to reuse everything constantly. I never throw soil away, ever. Even if it gets a few weeds in, you know, it goes on the compost heap for a year and then I'll riddle it out later. So anyway, at the minute, I'm just filling this right up as far as I can to within an inch or so of the top for these peas to get into. Now, I'm hoping they'll come back. If they do, I get myself a nice crop of peas. If they don't, well, no big deal. If they die off, I'll simply plant something else in the space. Remember, bare soil is not healthy for your garden. Your garden always likes to have something in the soil. It needs that nutrient going up and down, that moisture going up and down. Okay, so that's what we've done. It's dead easy. Pat it down gently, play pat a cake. Gardener's man. Now, with a few of these, if I've got any that's not so bad, pull them out. Now, remember they were multi-sown. There's 3 in there. I don't think that's a problem. We're going to put them in here and bury them in so they get a good grip. That's what we're after. Now, I have previously enriched this soil, this compost, with fish blood and bone and chicken pellets, which is my preferred natural-based fertilisers. Now they're getting a little bit of horse dung in there as well. Now, you might be thinking, oh, I can't plant them, Paul. I've got problems with pigeons. Well, I guarantee you, your problem with pigeons isn't like mine. I put some solar panels on the roof because I was trying to be sustainable, you know. thinking, oh, this will be perfect for cheap electricity. Well, first, it cost me an arm and a leg to put the things up there. But secondly, they provided a holiday camp for pigeons. Now, I never had a pigeon problem until I put the solar panels up there. Just my postie going by. Now, they literally send postcards to their relatives overseas and they fly in for the summer. I've put netting around, I've put wires around, I've put everything around. They come equipped with wire clippers. They clip away. It's hanging off the roof and they've all moved in. And then you always get one or two that go, ooh, this would be a lovely place to bring up my family. So they build nests. Oh, I don't know what to do. I mean, if you've got any ideas for any non-cruel methods of getting those pigeons to just leave me alone and go away, I'd be very grateful. Okay, so there's my stuff. Little bit of me handful of me. A few chicken pellets round the top. Give it a bit of a kick start. Now, peas are smashing. If you're only going to grow them for the pea shoots, which is what a lot of people do now, you could plant them thicker. And they'll grow up, and they'll get to about this high. They'll support themselves, and then you can pick off the shoots and you can put them on your salad. Very posy. But if you want them for peas, like what I do, they're going to grow a bit higher. These ones might not. I hope they're going to grow a bit higher, so they'll need support. Now, if I put some sticks in here, that'll support them fine. But my itinerant pigeons up there will come down, sit on the rim, and they'll eat them. Or they'll land in there, crush them, and eat them, because pigeons love peas. So what I've got is, somewhere here, I've got a bit of old chicken wire. Now, all I'm going to do with this is literally make a roll with it. If you've got a bit of this, it's ideal for that. You simply make a tube just about the same size as the inside of your pot. Try not to crush your peas like I'm busy doing. Or you can put it around the outside if you're very clever, but I'm not. So with my piece of wire here, I'm just going to make a tube with it, hopefully. About that size, and I'm guessing this is about the same size as the inside of my pot there. There we are. So all I'm going to do there is put that wire around the inside like that, stick the little bits together, just fold it over a couple of times. That's all you need. It'll stay together. There's no real pressure on this at all. And what this does is twofold. One is it stops the blimmin' pigeons getting into your peas. Because you see, with a big fat pigeon now, there's not enough space for them really to sit on the edge of here. They'll fall off, so they'll leave you alone. So that keeps your pigeons away, and it also provides something for your peas to grow up. Now this will fall over if it's left by itself, so get yourself a couple of bits of stick, bits of cane, bigger than this bit like, and just put them in, push them through, and stake out the actual peas themselves. That's all you need to do. Now I've got some broken canes around here which are ideal for this. If I can get a bit in. Broken canes here which are ideal for this. Simply pop it in there. Did I say simply? Pop it in there. There you go. Wire that round there. Keep it together. Doesn't matter, you know, if it's not too tidy. Done is better than perfect on this. So there we are. That's it. Don't know if you can see that there, but that's effectively it. I'm just going to put it outside now, then I'll give it a good drink later. With a bit of luck, these will grow nicely. Now hang on a tick, because I'm going to show you another way to do them. Okay, somebody give me an old window box here. I mean, it looks very grand. Doesn't that look like stone? It does, but it's actually only plastic. So all we're going to do with that, same again, a little bit here, but this time I'm growing these for shoots, just for pea shoots. So I can plant them a lot closer together. And I'm going to keep them in the greenhouse, so I don't need to worry about the pigeons getting at them. I've got plenty of greenhouse space at the minute, he says, with his tongue firmly in his cheek. But I will be putting the tomatoes out shortly. But in the meantime, I can get some of these out. Hey, what do you think of them? Haven't they come up lovely? We only planted them a few weeks ago. Courgettes. I'm going to have quite a few of them this year, I think, because everything I planted came up. Okay, so we'll get a few more of these in now. Now remember we said we're going to plant these a wee bit closer together, simply because it's just for pea shoots. I say just, they actually are really nice on your salads. They're full of goodness, full of vitamins for you. Now you could open all of these roots out on the bottom if you want, and if you're young enough in your life that time doesn't matter, but I'm not, so I'm just putting them in, and I know from experience that these roots will simply open up. I'm putting them in about every 3 inches, which is about the width of there, bit closer, 3 fingers worth. And the reason for that is if I've got them in the greenhouse, I can make sure they stay well watered. I can make sure they stay well protected from the birds, and I'll be harvesting pretty regularly. I'll only wait until they get to about a foot high, and then I'll be nipping out the top buds. Now that won't kill the plant. If I take the top bit out here, all that happens is these other little shoots below it will grow longer, so I can keep nipping them out for quite a while. And remember, these are the extra ones were planted. I planted so many of these things. It's old seed as well. I mean, it's not cost me anything for these. This was old peas I've had lying around for quite a while. Now they're coming together quite nicely. I'm very happy with that. We'll keep them inside here. Pop them on a shelf for now. And then they'll do quite well, or I hope they'll do quite well. I should get a couple of pickings before the tomatoes are ready to go in. Now, I always tell you to remember to put a label on for what these are, but you know what? I'm not going to bother because I don't know what the peas were when I planted them. In fact, I've no idea. That's it. It's as easy as that. You can cram them in. They're only going to grow to about this high, and I'll be picking them off and enjoying them and eating them. And as long as they're indoors and they're well watered and they get a bit of warmth, they'll shoot away like crazy. We'll come back to this in a couple of weeks' time and we'll have a look and see just how much it has. Look at the state of my hands. We'll see how much it has shot away and grown. Well, that's it for the peas. Now let's go and have a look at 1 or 2 of the containers that we planted up previously and just see how they're doing. Now you might remember this little lot down here. These were just the seeds that we put in. Hey, look at that for coriander. Oh, let's just have a taste of that. Oh my goodness me. Oh, that is seriously good. Now you notice this is the bigger stuff, and then I planted a week later. So I've got smaller stuff. Look, I've got more peas over there as well. Now those ones I do know what they are because I got a packet of them. So they're doing quite well. In fact, they're all doing really quite well. I'm quite happy with that. Now this is the tiny Swiss chard that we put in. Remember, these were only about that big, and they've come up really well. That's inside of one of our plastic tubs here. And the dwarf French beans, you might remember how small they were as well, and they're doing extremely well. Again, this bit of protection that they get from the plastic is first class. Now this little tub, remember this one? We were saying grow all sorts of stuff in here. Well, I did. I planted carrot seed, and there you go. Don't know if you can make that out, but they're all growing through really well. Now we'll pop along here, we'll just check out these beans. Oh, there you go, they're doing well. Look, they've taken okay. Yeah, they're just starting to throw on some more leaves, and they were the beans, broad beans that we put into the fish boxes. So they're doing okay, quite happy with them. Don't look at this lot, these are still weeds waiting to be sorted. Now these are actually giant kale plants. They'll grow to about 4 metres tall each, so I'll have to transplant them out of there into the ground at some point. And this is a self-seeded willow. It's an old dog willow, I think. At least I think it is. What do you reckon it is? Look at those leaves. Do you remember when we made this last year? It was just an old box, and I had a bit of a shower cubicle door. Well, it's done really well. They're the garlic that I put in, and the rest of this is ready to plant out now. I've been using it like a bit of a cold frame really, but I'm about to plant out a bit more in there. So up here by the garlic, I'm going to put some extra rows of carrots in there. Hopefully the smell of the garlic will protect the carrots. And then down here, I'm probably going to raise the level a little bit more, and then I'll plant some lettuces. We'll get that in there. Now the big container to plant out isn't ready yet, and that's this one. Do you remember this one? It's just filled with horse dung, but look at this. This has surprised me. I've got no heat in this heap at all. Even though I've mixed in garden grasses and a bit of greens down in the heart of this pile, it's freezing. So I'm in a bit of a loss what to do. I don't think I'm going to dig it out and then restack it. I think I'm just going to have to leave it as it is. Now, if you've got ideas about what I could plant in this cold, massive heap, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be very grateful. So you can see they're all coming on really well now. This is something I'm keen to see. It's French orach, I think it's pronounced. It's like a spinach, just a perpetual spinach, which I'm very keen to grow. I've had a real problem with the lupins this year. They got decimated by little green flies, aphids, ate the stems away, something terrible. But they're coming on okay now. Well, I think that's it for the greenhouse for today. Hopefully you'll pop back again later on in the week. We'll get another video up and have a bit of a chat. Now remember, if you enjoy this kind of like Indian ramblings that I do, please feel free to subscribe or tell your mates too. And if you've got any ideas about what you think we should be doing here in my tiny little garden, what you'd like to see made, what you'd like to see grown, put it in the comments. I always read them. There's some great ideas down in there, and it's good to share them. So if you've got ideas for what you could do here or what I could do here, put it in the comments. Speak with you soon. Bye-bye.